Okay, we're recording. This is
All
Wrong
right.
Speed Record Chat number 34. And we have Mr. Rainer Fronz. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Where are you?
I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Springtime, allergy season.
Yeah.
It's like runny nose central.
That's how it is. Yeah. I find at work, if I'm outside and go inside and outside and inside, my nose goes crazy. So, yeah.
It's like springtime. It's like the leaves start changing and like getting leaves, and it's like just like a drain. It's like.
So we've never met ever, and also this is the first time we've ever spoken. But
Yes.
as is the modern way, I think we've been in contact via email for around 8 years, or even
at least.
Yeah,
maybe more. Well, yeah, probably 8 years.
I think I know who put us in touch, but what's your side of the story?
Henry Owens.
Exactly.
Yeah, he sent. I can't think. What song did he send? It was a long time ago. It's like I can think of the song, but I just can't think. He sent me something. He's like, "You should check these guys out." Then I contacted you through that.
Yeah. So that was So Rainer runs Learning Curve Records in Minneapolis, and the records that people that watching this might know that he's put out would be. Well, he certainly put out. He helped with this, which was our first Henry Blacker album, which was on Riot Season in the UK, and Learning Curve.
Excellent record.
Which was an enormous thrill for us because we hadn't played a single gig when this record came out. But it was really exciting for us for that to happen. But what other bands have you put out from over here, would you say?
From over there, I've done stuff with USA Nails, Blacklisters, your other band, Hey Colossus. Doing the part Chimp. Also did that Hands Up Who Wants to Die from Ireland.
Cool.
That LP was like a lot of these are like multi-label releases that just kind of pitch in and do a little US distribution kind of thing just to help out.
Yeah, it's
a lot of stuff. It's like stuff I like, it's like it's kind of like a lot of my basis of the label is like bands I really like and I want to help out.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. And in this day and age, with postage costs, I love the fact that, for instance, you did the Colossus album in America and you're doing the Chimp album, which I'm doing in the UK. I love the fact that you're doing in America because the postage cost nowadays, as anyone who's watching this will know, is absolutely crippling. So
yeah, it's insane. It's like out of control.
Yeah, it's really brilliant. And for anyone who cares, it's this Colossus album here, which was the most recent one. And no one in the UK's got this yet because we haven't played a single gig. So I've still got them in my garage. But when we do eventually play, if you want, you can buy the Learning Curve version. That's nice and blurred, but yeah. And I have 3 different versions because you are a man who loves doing different versions of vinyl, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So there's one here that's orange, and then so that's sides C and D, but sides A and B is this sweet looking thing.
Yeah, that turned out really cool.
Yeah, really awesome. So yeah, there we go. Pack that way over there. But other things that I've got from your label, I'm just going to hold up for the hell of it, is this really excellent Blind Shake record.
Oh yeah, those guys did fairly well over there too in the UK.
Yeah. They do all right. They're good.
Did some touring and some BBC with Mark Reed, right? Is that his name? Oh no, that's the guy from.
No, Mark Riley. Would have done a
Mark Riley. Mark Reed's the guy from Australia, the criminal. You ever see that Chopper?
Yeah.
You ever see that? Yeah.
So not Mark Reed.
I think one's actually sent a package to BBC Radio 6 or whatever radio, like, and I sent it to Mark Reed, and it came back, and I was like, "What?" Like I meant, like, "Oh, it's Mark Riley." Dang it!
And this is one I found as well. Power Takeoff.
Oh yeah, Power Takeoff. Yeah. It's a nice sludgy, sludgy heavy record.
Yeah,
that's Gus. He's from lives in North Carolina. Good dude.
Yeah. So
very very networked,
right
in the US.
I've got I do have a whole pile of other ones actually. So yeah, awesome label. Oh yeah, and the other thing you do that I really like is these compilations, and it's compilations I want to talk about right now. So this is Held Hostage compilation.
Held Hostage.
And on this is Blind Shaker on this. There's some good bands on it. So Seahorse, Power Takeoff are on this, a bunch of others. But you've done a few compilations. And what I want to talk about is the importance of compilations, American label compilations that made it into the UK for certainly my generation. The vinyl, I've got a few here that I was going to show you, but what do you think about them still?
Oh, I think they're great. I mean, as a kid, that's how I discovered hundreds of bands and records. Yeah. I mean, it's either compilations, because usually they're cheap and affordable. It's like sampler, like label samplers, whatnot. It's either that or reading the liner notes of like albums. Yeah. Like that's how, like, especially like being like a hip hop kid, like listening to hip hop and like going through like the De La Soul record. It's like reading through and like, oh, I'm gonna buy, you know, Sonic. I'm gonna buy this and this and this, or at least check out, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then yeah, like label samplers were by far like the best way to discover new music for me. And like the comps don't sell as well as they used to, I don't think. Like there's not as much of an interest. No. Which is kind of a bummer for me because that's, like I said, like that was one of the primary ways where I discovered new music.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the stuff on AmRep I wouldn't have discovered unless like the dope guns and like the AmRep samplers.
So let's get to that. I've just picked out 3 US compilations, which meant a lot to me, like as a young person discovering music and picking these compilations up cheap. And so the first one is an AmRep one, and it's that.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's a great one.
Yeah,
it's got my favorite lubricated goats on.
It's got some like, it's a massive compilation.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Helmet, Gas Huffer, Jesus Lizard, Unsane, Boss Hog, Melvins, Dwarves, Hammerhead, Cosmic Psychos, Australia.
Yeah, Superchunk.
Just America. Yeah.
I think it's a Superchunk on that one, or no, that they're on the second one, the third one.
Some bands that I never maybe dug too much into: Fetish 69, Casus Belli. Maybe I don't know them. Boss Hogs on there. It's massive, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like, yeah, although like those Dope Guns records are just epic.
Yeah. And just to skip to different labels, this was a bargain sampler. It even says it is a Sub Pop Employee of the Month compilation. Yeah. I don't know. Look at that guy. Yeah. I don't know whether America got the same compilations or different ones. If this one made it over there.
No, I never saw one of those. They had different ones for Sub Pop here, I think.
Yeah. So this is like got Les Thugs on it, a French band. But the rest are American band, Big Chief and whatever else.
Yeah.
Really important. And the final one I'll just show was a Drag City one. And it's Hey Drag City. So Drag City 20. And it was like Silver Jews, Palace Brothers, Pavement, all that, you know, and it was a double and it was beautiful. And I don't remember it being that expensive, even though it's heavy as hell sleeve and everything. Anyhow, compilations, massively important.
Yeah, there used to be, like back in the 90s, there used to be like I think it was a CMJ magazine. I can't remember what it was, but you could buy like just in a bookstore, and it came with like a compilation CD like every month. And it was all like new music. It was just awesome. Yeah. So then you could like discover, you know, random like, and it's all like independent artists. It was perfect.
Yeah. So I know that the internet is there now, like, and like people can do YouTube things and compile it all together and Spotify playlists and whatever else. But
it's not the same as like holding the compilation and kind of like experiencing the music, you know. It's like you see the artwork and like kind of get a little bit about the band and like then maybe do some research and like figure it out, you know. Like Spotify, it's like great, it's like there's like nothing to it, you know.
Yeah, so because you're clearly still a physical media person because you put so much love into the releases.
Trying to get to my compilations and the my stack here. I have some weird ones for you that you probably wouldn't have expected.
So, but one of the other things is, seeing as we're talking about the AmRep stuff, is how connected you were to that label and what you did there. I don't know the full story, so it's of interest.
Yeah. So let's see. When I was still in college, like mid to late 90s, here in Minneapolis, I was kind of looking for a place to volunteer at or internship in the music industry. And I was like, AmRep's here. Let's try there. Like, I love the Cows. I love, the Melvins. Like, let's try it. So I called them up. They're like, yeah, come on in. So I did. And they're like, you want an intern here? I'm like, yes. So that was it. And basically I just did, started out just doing, cleaning the warehouse, data entry, that kind of stuff. Then I moved away out to Portland for about a year, moved back, needed a job. So I actually started working at the bar that Hazelmar opened in downtown Grumpy's. And then worked there for a couple months. And then the guy who was working in the AmRep office left until they needed somebody to work there. And they brought me in. So then I can't remember how many years I did it, but I kind of took over the office, ran it. So basically filled web orders, sold at that time. The main sale item was the Zippo lighters with the art, like lowbrow artists like Coop, Kozik, Shag, like those kind of things. He also did like some art toys, kind of like what Cause does and whatnot. Then did like some one-off Melvin singles. Like we did that shit sandwich and the Spit It Out, which are basically all just like kind of joke singles. Like the Spit It Out was just a straight off Halo Flies song. Right. And the shit sandwich was just a blank 7-inch. So
people will buy anything.
Yeah, no, it's typical Melvin's, style. So then we actually started doing like real singles, and then that kind of led to what Tom is doing now with the carved covers and fancy vinyl.
Yeah, they look really nice.
Yeah. But so I did that for about 7 or 8 years, and then I kind of got married, had a kid. The learning curve kind of started doing better, and then it was kind of like, well, time to move on and onward and upward, I guess.
But you would say it was an inspiration, right? Of course.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely learned a lot from Tom, and he was constantly like, "Why are you putting out records? Like, it's a waste of time." Which I like. I mean, he's still putting out records, so it's obviously he doesn't really feel that way. But
no, everyone says it. I'd say it. You would say it.
I mean, so would I. Like, it's like, what are you doing? I know there's a guy, here in Michigan that I'm friends with, Kenneth McNabb, who did Corpse Flout Records, and he retired the label. And I see him on Facebook. He's like, "Oh, I just redid my lawn and built this patio." And I'm like, "So that's what you do without a label?" He's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Dang it."
Yeah,
seems so nice.
Yeah, quite. Well, so you was about to dig some compilations out there, and I jumped in and ruined your flow.
Yeah, no, they're just kind of weird. They're not really the kind of compilations that inspire me to find new bands, but they're just things that I've bought and dug up over the years, digging through used record bins, whatever. I remember the Peebles compilations. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
A lot of psychedelic stuff. These are great.
Oh, is it the Pebbles one? Yeah, hold it up.
Yeah, the Pebbles. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are great. And then I love a lot of these easy tempo comps.
Oh yeah, cool.
From a lot of them are wow, what's that label? The Hot Wax, or what is it?
Cripple Dick Hot Wax.
Yes. They did those all those Italian composers that did the kind of the Italian
yeah. Did they put out that Vampiros Lesbos record?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all those I love for a long time those were a big, like I was a big fan of all those. So like I kind of like searched like used bins around the Twin Cities for like finding these easy tempo records. And like it's just like nice background music and like just like put it on, you know, read a book when it's quiet and like or drink a coffee and like, you know, before everybody gets up. Those are my compilations.
It's nice. I sort of I was wondering what the biggest when you were at AmRep then what would you say was the biggest seller there?
Always the Melvins. Melvins cows. Today's a day.
Yeah. Must have because I was wondering like there's like what the feeling was with this band here.
Oh, I mean there wasn't much left. It's the only stuff that was left. There's no Strap It On is left. There's Born Annoying left.
Right. Oh yeah.
But people didn't really seem that interested in that. I mean, eventually it all kind of moved, but
because this came out on Glitterhouse in the UK,
right,
or Europe. It's still got the AmRep logo, but it came out like a lot of the early Sub Pop stuff was the same. Most people in this country's Mudhoney Records or whatever are on Glitterhouse, not Sub Pop. Same with this. I guess like the bigger releases probably got picked up over here by other labels, and that happened.
Yeah, well, like Glitterhouse had like a deal with Tom,
right?
And like everybody else, it's kind of like one of those things like what we're doing with like the part Chimp and the Colossus, where it's like it's easier to press it in Europe, and distribute it there. So
very similar level. Yeah,
exactly. Because eventually there ended up being like kind of an AmRep Europe type deal.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, no. Then there's like I think because that was Anthony Martin, I think ran that. I know he did like a Chokebore 7-inch. I think that was European only.
Right.
And I can't remember what else, if there was anything else, but they did some pressings that were European, I believe.
Right,
my memory serves me correct, but I'm not 100% on that.
No. So did they have an office over here?
Yeah.
Okay. And how many?
I could also be just making that up. I don't know.
No. It's plausible. I know, like labels.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's kind of foggy.
Yeah. I know, like labels like Sub Pop did and then didn't and then did and then didn't. You know. That's wasn't it? We're big. Okay, we're not that big. We're big.
Yeah.
No, we're not that big. Like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, how many? Okay, let's talk about learning curve then. How many records have you put out?
Well, I think so. The newest thing I just put up on the Bandcamp deal today is the new Grasshopper Lies Heavy record. They're a band from San Antonio. Instrumental. This one has vocals, but they do both instrumental and kind of heavier vocals, sludgy. I think it'll be number 78. So I keep all my records are all like sequential. So there's no like, it's not different for like 10 inches and 7 inches. So it's everything kind of goes linearly.
Right. Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
There's not like a different number. Yeah.
That's the way it should be. I know.
Yeah, because I was always a little with AmRep. It was always like there's like the 7-inch numbers and there's like then everything else. It's kind of like ugh.
Yeah. There's when I worked in distribution, one of the labels we dealt with, well, most of the labels did it actually, but one of the ones that really stuck in my mind was Domino, because their albums were Wig LP, blah blah blah.
Right.
But I think their singles were Rug LP, it was Rug 7-inch, blah blah blah. Like 2 different versions of hair pieces, so like the Rug and Wig. And I don't know why they were Rug and Wig and the label was Domino. They didn't seem connected at all to me.
That seems really random.
Yeah. And then Mute's catalog numbers were Stumm, which is like, I guess the word for be quiet, STUMM, which is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I never even thought of that.
No,
I don't know if I've seen that. I've looked at the catalog number, but I never like put that together. Huh.
Yeah. Because Moby plays CD Stumm 172 because we sold 1 million of those things when I was there. So I've got the catalog number burned into my skull. And I guess it's the same for you. You must have certain catalog numbers like whatever, like a Melvin's album or whatever. You just know it's blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah. Like the Alive at the Fucker Club. Like the Melvin's like, 72.
You just know.
Yeah, I think Cunning Stunts, I think it's 007 and some other ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So
36, I think, is Scattered, Smothered, and Covered.
Yeah. Well, that Cows record's good though, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all the Cows records. Like, I love the Cows.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw there's some footage. Was it AmRep did a like a festival, whatever? I saw some footage of them quite, I was going to say recent, but it's probably 5 years ago or whatever, playing in some parking lot or something. And it looked really.
Yeah, that was the parking lot of Grumpy's, the bar that I worked at.
Oh, was it? Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, basically, Tom, we started doing, the first one was 25-year AmRep Festival, which had like Melvin's, Thrown Ups, Boss Hog, Today's a Day, Hammerhead. Gosh, who else played that? White Drugs, Gay Witch Abortion, Vaz. And I think it was then Lollipop and Unsane played the night before inside the bar.
Right, cool.
And a couple years later, we did another one that had like Detroitson. Gosh, I can't remember who else. But then, yeah, then they did one with the Cows.
Yeah.
Reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it looked really, really wacky.
Yeah, it was great. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Shannon's, yeah.
So there's some crossover there because you said like Gay Witch Abortion. That's records that you put out, isn't it?
Yep. And they've also done some stuff with Tom. We actually did a 10-inch. Like Tom did like an arty fancy cover for it that he did like 3 songs with Jesse and Sean. And I did just like a normal version of it to sell to like the layman's people who didn't want to, fork over the big bucks. But now, I mean, he's fork over the big bucks when it pops up on Discogs. So.
Yeah, that's interesting to me that the crossovers there. I find that's really positive. I really like it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
Like I said, Tom's like, it's good person to get advice from, and like if you need a little help with artwork or whatnot.
Yeah. I've got your irritatingly, because I was rushing this evening. I rushed in and just jumped to the chair to talk. I have the Reign of Bronze T-shirt.
From when I was need money for my art.
Like a benefit T-shirt that he designed, right?
Yeah, Tom did that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really. I'm kicking myself that I'm not wearing it right now. Yeah. Who sorted that? Was that
Conan set all that up when I was in the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, because it came with a CD, a compilation.
Yeah, that's a great compilation too.
Yeah. See, compilations aren't dead.
Yeah, compilations, exactly.
Let's talk about records. So I sent you a list of subjects. Yes. Sometimes people pay attention to them, and sometimes they don't. Let's see where we go.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
I want a record from your favorite record shop.
Record from my favorite record shop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this record is from my childhood record store I used to go to. I grew up in Illinois, in Moline, Illinois, or the Quad Cities, technically Geneseo. It's a small city, but Moline is kind of like my home base for record shopping. And this is one of the first records I bought in the 80s. Because my sister was older and introduced me to Love and Rockets, and she was kind of a, that kind of dark sider shoegazy stuff, and yeah, I was instantly in love, and that record has stuck with me since then. Like I still listen to it to this day, and I find it interesting, and yeah.
What was the name of the record shop?
Co-op Tapes and Records.
Sweet. Is it still there?
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Like it's kind of more of a head shoppy kind of place now, but it's still there.
Yeah. Oh, that's positive, isn't it? I love those records you get when you're young, and then you still got them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of like metal, and I'm pretty sure I still have like a Prince record that I bought when I was a kid, and a Genesis record.
Yeah, but they mean stuff, right? It's good.
Yeah, my licensed sale copy and my Paul's Boutique copies are the ones that I got when I was a kid, and my Check Your Head copy that I like mail ordered from Grand Royal.
Oh yeah. God, you know what? For a while over here, people pronounce Grand Royale, and it used to really annoy me. I don't know why. They're like, there's no E at the end, but for years, where it's like Grand Royale, it's like, come on. Like,
yeah, that's weird.
I know, yeah, we're stupid.
It's the French influence, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But I like their magazine that they did. The magazine they put.
Oh yeah, that was great. I remember the one record. It came with like a iron on, and I could put it on like a long sleeve white T-shirt, and I wore that like all the time in the '90s. It's like a big like blue Grand Royal like iron on, and I thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah, the one I remember is the one with Lee Scratch Perry on the front cover. It was orange.
Yep. Yeah.
Might come with a flexi disc actually.
Yeah, I think it did too.
Yeah.
I mean, I still I'm sure they're in a box in a storage area somewhere.
Yeah. They need to get that, like compile that into a nice big book, I reckon. Don't you think? Like, you see this here? I don't know if you've got this book or you're aware of it.
Oh, the Beastie Boys book? Oh yeah.
No, the Touch and Go.
Oh no. Oh no, I don't have that.
Yeah. So it's all the Touch and Go fanzine. All the issues in one book.
Ooh.
And it's really excellent. Like, they need to do that with Grand Royale.
Yeah. No, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, my wife was just asking me what I want for our anniversary, and I think I just
nothing screams wedding anniversary than this.
Yes. The Touch and Go collection. Yes.
I want Tesco V talking balls.
Romance. It's in the air.
But I said before that when I got married, so I got married in 2000. Okay, so 21 years ago, like last month, and when you get married, you get given loads of things, right? Or you get people buy you a kettle and they'll buy you a load of crap and whatever else.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember getting is Safe as Milk by Captain Beefheart on vinyl. A friend bought me a Captain Beefheart album, and it's the only thing I've probably still got. And every time I see it, it reminds me of that day, and it means absolutely everything to me. Like,
oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. Wedding anniversary present.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. So any other record shops that you frequent locally still now?
Or? Yeah. So here I definitely shop at Extreme Noise, which is kind of our punk rock record store. So I got a handful of recent stuff that I bought from there. I mean, not that recent, but
I'll tell you, the definition of recent for me is probably 10 to 15 years now.
Yeah. So I think this is one of the early records I bought from Extreme Noise. It's this band I Spy. It's a 10-inch, which is a controversial, like you said. Yeah. So they're on Recess Records. It's like it's Todd Congelary. It's West Coast, kind of like that, like Dillinger 4 style, like punk rock, but not like the overproduced stuff like Epitaph or whatever. It's like a little more dirtier, kind of pushing hardcore, but still poppy and like hooks.
Yeah.
Flowers of Evil, Canadian band, Flowers of Evil. It's awesome, super catchy, kind of like a little like late 70s kind of like feel to it.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't know them. Is that their current band?
Yes. Yeah, they're quite excellent.
Yeah,
definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
And then this one.
Oh, is that the Bad Brains style thing? Yeah,
yes.
That's quite bad. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in that? Because I saw it when it came out. Remind me who's in that band? It's like characters from that world, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't remember exactly. I know it's somebody that's like.
It's like New York hardcore characters, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's my recollection. I can't remember who's in it either, but I know that it's.
Yeah, but it's quite good. I mean, it's just a single. It's got like 3 songs or 2 songs.
What do you think of EPs? This is a like.
It's good.
Hmm.
I mean, I think like 7 inches are kind of like I like 7 inches, but the sound quality is kind of a bummer. And they're at this point in time they're expensive to make.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like making money on a 7-inch, at least from a label perspective, is like good luck. And like charging like $10 to $15 for a 7-inch seems like outlandish, because like back in the day it's like $3, yes, but now it's like $10. You're like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, we had the craze over here in the 90s, and I guess the same there was the 12-inch EP, 4 songs. Like it was a big like Creation Records type thing where it would be like, okay, new Swerve Driver thing, 4 songs.
Yep.
And then there'll be another one 6 months later, like instead of an album, That seemed.
Yeah. Well, funny. Actually, I have some from the 80s here. The ABC 12-inch for Who Wants to Be a Zillionaire. It's a single with instrumentals. Some classics from the 80s that I loved. Yeah.
Of ABC.
Yeah.
Really like
and then here we have the Instant Club hit 12-inch from the Dead Milkmen.
Yeah. Nice.
Love this record too.
Yeah.
There's another one like influenced from my sister. Like she's a huge Dead Milkmen fan. Like some of the stuff I thought was pretty cheesy, but I was like this Instant Club hit song I always thought was like super funny and like really kind of like stuck it to the kids that I kind of like. I don't know. I was like those dance nerds. I mean, but whatever. Like I was one of them, so it's like yeah.
Yeah. So the record shop in where you are, Minneapolis, is called Extreme Noise.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So that's just one of them, and then so that's like the main like punk rock, hardcore, heavy metal type place. Then the other record shop that's great here is Electric Fetus, and that's primarily like a used record place. You can find like just awesome used records. If you go there on the right day, like a couple years ago, somebody just dumped like their entire like Nuclear Blast collection. So it's like every like 80s metal record you can think of. So like I found like stuff like this for like
Bonded by Blood. Yeah.
It's like basically for nothing. It's like, oh, sweet. Like, and it's like in like almost like near mint condition because like the copy I had before was like shredded. So I'm like, thank you. Like, yes, I will totally have that. Yeah, and a bunch of other weird like like Nuclear Assault and like just weird records that's like you can't find, or if they're like reissued, they're like $1 million.
Does when someone does a big drop like that, does word spread quickly? It's like, holy shit, someone's just.
Yeah, usually somebody on like a post on like one of the record blogs or whatever. It's like, oh, somebody just dropped a bunch of metal records, or yeah, you got to get there before. And it's always so frustrating because they're like set up in like rows, and like one dude's like in that row, and you're just like, oh. It's like,
do you do that thing where you're looking, you're flicking through, like you're like this, but you're actually looking over there at what they're flicking through, and you're trying to look at both things.
Yeah, but you always have like the guy that's like going through, but then he like stacks his records on the other stack because he's like kind of reserving that stack to go through, and you're just like, dude, not cool, bro.
I'm bad though, because what I do is if I go into a record shop and I will, 2 things I'll either do. I'll either pick a load up and wander around the shop with like a bigger pile, and then at the end like start putting them all back and only pick up.
The filter. Yeah. I'm very familiar with the filter. Yeah, I do that too because I'm like, I only have so much money to spend.
Yeah, I hate myself for it. There's something weird about it. And the other thing I'll do sometimes is I'll go, okay, yeah, no, there's this record I like, and I'll put it to the back of that section. Stay in the same section. I'm not moving it out of the section. I'm not crazy, but I'll be like, okay, yeah, no, that can just pop at the back to remind myself that it's there.
Yeah.
So I can find it easy later.
But then so like when you get to it again, you're like, yes.
Yeah. It's like
the surprise at the end of the tunnel. You know, it's like, yes.
I don't know, like there's something weird about it. It needs to be looked into. With so let's just quickly talk about Minneapolis. Like, what's the, like, most people here know it as like what sort of Husker Du world, right? And
Yep.
and the Replacements.
Yep. Husker Du Replacements.
They're still
there's
casting a shadow over the place, or is
I mean, especially with like when they did like the Replacements reunion stuff a few years back. Then there's that the Hold Steady.
Yeah. Oh,
was
okay. So you did their first record on vinyl, right?
Yep. I did that. It was with a hip hop label. Did like an indie rock label for a second. So Rhymesayers did this thing called Women Records, and they did 2 releases total. One was like, well, actually they did 3 because I think they did the second Hold Steady record, which I didn't do anything with. But we did the first Hold Steady record together.
Wow.
And then they did the second Hold Steady record, and I think they did 1 other release or 2 other releases, and then that was it for that. Then they just stuck to hip hop and Rhymesayer stuff.
Oh shit! So they do the A$AP Rock releases.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, who I absolutely love.
Oh yeah, A$AP Rock is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That I did not know. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, Rhymesayer, they're based here.
Yeah.
Good dudes.
Yeah, love that label. It's really and they do great packaging. Like
oh yeah.
I don't know how much you know about it, but the Malibu Ken album, which is A$AP Rock.
Oh yeah, it's great. Yep.
I love that. It's one of my favorite records of the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Yeah, that record's great.
Came with a mask.
Yeah.
I never put the eyes out. Like it came with a car. I didn't put the eyes out. Really. It's like, what was I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, because a lot of those, like the package is so elaborate, I just don't want to open it. Like,
no. Because the last A$AP Rock album came with like a big sheet of sort of stickers or transfers or something, which again, like I'm not touching them. I'm not doing anything with it. It's just kind of getting in the way of the record, and I'm slowly damaging it over time. But that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, but they used to have a shop in town here, which is awesome. So like all hip hop, like anything classic, like singles and whatever. But they closed the shop down last year, so it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. Okay, that is interesting. That I didn't realize that they had co-released that Hold Steady thing. That's really kind of blown my mind, actually.
Yeah, that's well, that was all kind of so because I had known the Hold Steady guys. Funny, I actually had met. Well, it was the Lifter Puller. Like I'd met him when they were Lifter Puller back in the day.
Yeah.
I'd originally met Craig Finn, the singer. I was in Las Vegas for the punk rock bowling tournament in probably 2000, and he was out there because No. 34 was playing. This is when it like was still a pretty small event, and I'd ended up with him and some other people at the top of the Stratosphere. And there's a roller coaster up on top of this tower, and I rode the roller coaster with Craig, and we just kind of talked and became friends. And then we had actually done a 7-inch on AmRep for Lifter Puller. And right as we were releasing it, they broke up.
Classic, absolutely
classic. Yeah, absolute classic. Yeah, that's happened a few times with my label, and with AmRep and with my label. And then, yeah, the Hold Steady happened, and then the idea came to do the vinyl. Like I was kind of talking to my friend Patty from No.34 about like we should do vinyl. Like they should do vinyl for this record. And he's like, "Do you want me to ask Craig?" And it's like, "Well, yeah. Like, why don't you ask him? Then I'll shoot him an email." And then it happened. And then Patty talked to Sean at Atmosphere, Rhymesayers, and then whatever, it all kind of came together. And then we did the vinyl.
Wow. How many did you press of that?
Just 500.
God damn.
Yeah, and they repressed. They eventually ended up repressing it, but it was great. So when I did that, it was actually we had it mastered through this guy here named Stan Ricker. Who was like this like kind of famous vinyl mastering person. So like the mastering on it was like awesome, and it sounded epic. But then like he kind of, I think he passed away not that long ago, but like his like mastering was like legendary.
And
so.
did they use the same like
No,
version?
because that stuff was all gone by when they repressed. So
Oh,
yeah, which is a bummer.
Yours is the version to get, then, is what you're saying.
Well, ideally, yes.
Yeah, I need to get that. I'm looking for that. So yeah, I actually really like Hold Steady, especially the first 3 or 4 records. I really like them. Like, you know.
Oh yeah, no, they're great records. Like good rock.
Yeah, they make me want to go to a bar. It's that sort of thing, you know. Like,
yeah,
perfect. Like, point my finger at the sky and down a thing.
Down some pints. Yeah.
yeah. Still do.
Yeah, and they still like make a lot of references to like Twin Cities stuff, and
yeah,
it's kind of like nice for at least from people from here, because a lot of people like in Minnesota or Minneapolis at least kind of feel like we're always like kind of slighted and considered like flyover country.
Yeah,
because we're like in the middle of, you know.
It's something that like American bands in particular do really well, is talk about their places and name the towns and cities that they're from in their songs. And the UK people don't really do that without feeling a little bit uncomfortable about celebrating anything from here. It's, you know, it's quite rare, it seems to me. Whereas like, American bands are, and there's something really nice about it, especially the Hold Steady, the way I probably learned more about geography from like that than anything else. It's like, oh, Mississippi River, weird. Okay. Yeah. It's all the way up there. Yeah. Like, I love that about that band. So, yeah. Hit me with a record with memories.
So this record would be would give me memories of skateboarding when I was in like junior high with my friends, and just like constantly falling.
Yeah.
And like try, you know, like acting like we're like the coolest kids on the block or whatever. And like listening to this, you know, super loud, like acting tough, wearing some stupid like skateboarding clothes or whatever, and like a bandana or something. And
I love that record. It's got the big black and white cartoon picture of all the characters in it. Is that the one?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Anthrax is one of my favorite bands.
Is that that's not gatefold, is it? It's just a split sleeve. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I used to love that picture. I'd study it.
Yeah, this and like Among the Living.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite album, but this Spreading Disease is.
I'm absolutely the same. Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
And it's the thanks list on those sort of records were really good for me. Like you were saying earlier about thanks lists on things. Those.
Oh yeah, I mean that's Yeah, because it's like that's how you discovered, especially back before the internet. It's like, how would you find stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's like bands
like that, or like reading like like when Anthrax thanks like Exodus. It's like, oh, I should check out Exodus.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's Among the Living. I've said it publicly before and been slightly ridiculed, but of the big 4, Among the Living is my favorite.
Oh yeah, by far. Yeah, mine as well.
Yeah, good, because it feels quite positive, like lyrically as well. It's quite sort of it seems quite righteous in a way, that album.
Yeah, no, and like it's one of the records, like, because I had records from like everybody else in the same era, like in the, whatever, like late 80s, early 90s, and that is the one that I listened to constantly.
Yeah,
like it's like I had like, you know, like Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Peace Cells, or whatever, like Rain and Blood, but I always went back to Among the Living. Like it just seemed like start to finish, it was like, for me, a better record. Like
I agree entirely.
It was like the lyrics are better. It was like the hooks are better, and like it just seemed more timeless than the other ones. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing here is that, so I got into them like maybe Among the Living. What year is that? Like 88, 18? Like it's
Yeah, it was like 88, 89, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so I was only 14 or 15, but I had that record.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been, you know.
So I didn't
like
see.
How old are you? Like, I'm 45.
Okay,
you have to be the same age, right?
Yeah, I'm 47.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically the same age, so.
Yeah. So I didn't see them until the State of Euphoria tour. By which point, like they're wearing like Bermuda shorts and sort of skipping around the stage like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I was like, this is not. And I didn't mind State of Euphoria, but it was not Among My Living.
Right.
It was a bit.
It's post on demand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how you judge it, right? What a 12-inch that was. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know, but going back to it, like I don't mind it. You know.
No.
It's kind of like it's. I don't know if that kind of birthed like a terrible genre more than like what the License to Ill did. You know, because like that's like License to Ill sampled like a bunch of like Led Zeppelin and Slayer. You know.
Yeah.
It's like what caused rap metal more than the other, you know?
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, am I wrong in thinking like Kerry King solos on License to Ill? Is there
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
This is like Def Jam.
Yeah, it's all Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
7-year-old. Letting one go.
I think I'm with it.
Background noises.
What's your 7-year-old's name?
Iris.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, this one.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Go on. Talk us about that then.
This too is I feel a fairly timeless record.
Yeah.
Like kind of my first introduction to like what I consider like good industrial. Oh, that's Iris. Here she is.
How are you? Are you all right?
Yeah. Oh, she can't hear you. Hold on, let me.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Are you all right?
Hello.
Good talk.
Hello. Do you want to say hello to Monty? Here's Monty.
He's cute. We have 2 dogs, and one is so giant we can't pick him up, but he's still 1, so he's learning.
Yep. Yeah, you drew a mustache on just like Shannon Silver.
So
see you later.
Yeah, what's that? Was that what we looking at? Ministry there? Was that?
Yeah, Ministry. The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste.
Yeah.
Like what's up?
No.
That was that chair, Iris. Anyway, we can plug back in here.
Dad.
Yeah, it's probably like, as far as I'm concerned, like in the kind of like heavier industrial stuff, like another record that I love, and a band that I've seen several times and always been awesome, even when they're older. Yeah. Like we saw them, my wife and I were in Vegas.
Dad, can you split this cookie?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I gotta open this cookie. My daughter.
Crazy.
She's crazy. Here you go.
Thanks, Daddy.
Yep. Anyway.
Thanks. That's nice.
Yeah, you know, Wrong Speed Records, family time. Yeah, like I was saying, every time I've seen Ministry, they've been awesome. In the 90s, awesome. Even we saw them in Vegas at the House of Blues on a random chance, and they're excellent. Like, good show. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And even like their catalog, their weirder releases are like decent. I can't think of like, there's maybe like 1 or 2 of the weird records that are kind of stinkers, but
yeah. What about early Ministry before wasn't he a bit more what's the word?
Like the synth stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Everyday is Halloween era, I think. Yeah, I mean that stuff, it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, before he kind of figured out distortion and like guitars.
It's the thing with one of the bands we discuss in this house quite a lot. Not necessarily in a good way, but just it makes us laugh, is Pantera. And
oh yeah.
And their early phase and their latter phase, and the difference between the two, especially visually, is really funny to us.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know how much truth there is to the story, but some AmRep people swear that so Pantera pre heavy aggro screamy Pantera was playing in the main room at First Avenue. So First Avenue is the big rock club. They have a huge room that holds like 1,200 people. Then there's like the side room called the 7th Street Entry that holds like 150, 200. So Pantera, before their aggro metal thing, they're still like hair metal plays in the main room. Helmet is playing in the side room.
Oh, yeah.
Pantera apparently came over, saw Helmet. The next time Pantera comes through town, they're totally changed.
You're saying that Helmet is the big switch up for them.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know how much truth there is to this story, but makes for an interesting tale.
But they must have been influenced by someone. So,
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, that is a pretty drastic change from what it was to what it became.
Yeah, I love it. But what's interesting is that I think that feels like an era where bands could do that. Like, no matter what I thought of them before or since, like labels don't let bands do that. Like, you're more likely to get dropped, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Like develop.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, let's see here. Oh. So many records. So, what are your thoughts on? Do you know the album Mesh and Lace from Modern English?
Oh, I don't think I do. No.
So it's like kind of a rockin' like Gang of Four style like album.
Right.
If you think of like Modern English, it's like not like that.
No.
More like that kind of like synthy,
Yeah. But it's that thing, like the development is not like Talk did it. Like Talk, the pop band, and then Talk, the art more like whatever, however you describe how they became. I don't even know how they became. They became something I really like. But the development of bands is I like the fact that was allowed then, and I kind of
Yeah, it seems like now like people are like you're like typecast like this is you and like this sells, and if you change, see you later.
Yeah, exactly. And you need to and if you want to become a successful band nowadays, like you need to come out fully formed. Like first gig needs to be nailed on. You need to you can't be messing around. You can't have 5 years of learning I don't know.
Fumbling around.
No, I'm talking from the minute you get signed. I mean, like you can't like I don't know. It's interesting. So those sort of bands, I appreciate that about them, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Especially Pantera. Yeah. They're just kind of one of those joke bands in this house, that, especially when he went a bit. Anyhow, let's not talk about Pantera. I don't want to talk about that crap.
Well, let's stop. Like, what's like? I can't even think. Like, what's like a big like rock band like right now? Like, who's like a new like big rock band? Is there one?
New. I don't know. Mastodon? No.
I don't think. Like, I mean, like, what's like? Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we're just old. Maybe.
That's probably the problem.
I'm more focused on records that sell 200 copies than 2 million.
I'm debating like, should I do a pressing of a record or should I do cassettes? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Is this a 50 cassette release or 100 vinyl? That's the big hit me with a bargain find. Do you have bargain find?
Bargain find. Probably, I'm pretty sure I found this in a dollar bin.
Oh, nice.
The Young Gods LP, another industrial record. That's great.
Yeah. Swiss.
French.
Oh, French.
I think they're French.
Okay.
They might be Swiss. I don't know. Whatever. Same difference. Just kidding.
No.
Continental Europe.
Yes, exactly. Mountain.
Yes. So this is just like a find. So there's like a couple bucks at that record store that I grew up when I went back to visit.
Yeah.
It's like a 7-inch. It's like,
Oh yeah.
but the vinyl is the only reason I bought it. Do you see that?
Oh yeah. Is that?
So it's like a record, and it's like the plastic is the United States.
Yeah. That is insane. Is that like a 5-inch record in the map there?
Yeah. It is like, yeah, that's the old. I mean, it's not. It's like, it's hardcore or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I pulled it out. I was like, holy cow, that's like the coolest thing. Yeah, just United States.
That's awesome. And the music doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if it's good.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's like, it's just the record's so cool. I was like, oh yeah. Like, I would have paid, $10 for this, but I paid like $3 or whatever.
Have you got any like what other like wacky? Because what's that pressing plant in America that does those? Go on, help me out here. What's that pressing plant that does that really interesting stuff over there?
Oh, that like United? Well, not United, but there's one that like Jack White does stuff through, that does all kind of crazy stuff through his label, where they like do like records inside of records and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I have a Locust. I've got two versions of the same record by the Locust, right? One is a 7-inch with about 10 songs on, or maybe 12 songs, classic sort of Locust behavior.
Yeah.
But the other one, when I left a previous job 15 years ago, as a leaving present, they bought me the same record, but it was split over 4 records, and it was a jigsaw. So there's like one song aside, or maybe 2 songs aside, and 4 different colored records that you could fit together in a jigsaw. And there was like 4 records that you could spin separately. It was insane. Whoa. I still got it. Have I ever played it? God knows. But
yeah, that's that's kind of saying I bought. It's not that interesting a package, but there's a few years ago on Record Store Day, there was like a Jesus Lizard like 7-inch reissue, and it's all the Jesus Lizard 7 inches, and it comes with like a big plastic like kind of like carrying thing. Yeah. So you can like kind of like hang it on your wall. It's like a big poster of all the 7 inches. And yeah, I mean, it's just sitting, like I just have it sitting in the package. Like I'm not gonna play them. I'm just like, yeah, I got it. Oh.
No, it's a mad world, isn't it? That's crap.
Yeah. Oh, that's. Yeah.
So, what about bought on tour records? Have you toured? Have you played in bands actually?
All the bands I've played in were just like friends in garages or basements. In college, I played in some bands where we just played on campus, like in like the student union. So the only thing I got was the one I got was probably, so working at AmRep, a band contacted me. So like, hey, we want to book a show in Minneapolis, and AmRep's like the only cool thing we know there. Like, we help us book a show. And I was like, sure. And I checked out the music. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So we did. And like, I booked the show, and like the show was still like, I just got them on like some weird punk show. Yeah. Like they're like an angular kind of weird band. And it turned out the band was the A-Frames.
All right, cool. Nice.
So like set it up, and like they played, and like a couple kids that were there were like, holy crap, this is amazing. Then like the other people were like, what? But anyway, like then I became friends with the guys, and like they stayed at my house or whatever, and like we had a whole AmRep nerd thing. But yeah, so I remember like, I mean, they gave me this copy, but like it's their first LP. Sweet. Like, I love this record. It's a great record. Like I remember playing it in the office, and like Hazelmeyer was like, what is this? It's like, oh, it's that band I was telling you wanted to get a show. And he's like, why didn't you tell me? Why don't you play? I'm like, I did play it for you. It's like, why don't you play it for me louder? I'm like, ugh.
Not the right volume.
Yeah. So, but then like they ended up eventually playing at Grumpy's one time, and like for a while I think actually every show they played in Minneapolis came through me. Like I booked them. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Contacts. You're the go-to guy.
Yeah, well, at least for them, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the only like kind of like toury one I have. But I've driven a few bands on tour.
Oh yeah.
But usually like money is pretty thin on those, so
What
not a
bands
lot
have
of
you
buying.
what bands have you driven? Where like around America or just locally?
Yeah, just around America. Like probably the biggest tour I did, I drove No.34.
Well, by the way, when you say just around America,
So it was to New York and back. It was like 11 days.
Yeah.
So it was like, Chicago, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Philly, New York, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then just like bands from the label, like trips down to Chicago or trips to Madison, like going with the Blind Shake, like when they play Chicago or whatever. So
is there like would you say there was a connection between like AmRep touch and go type thing between Chicago and Minneapolis? Was there like were they warring parties, or were they did they bond in any way?
I'd say the bands were friendly. The labels probably not so much.
Oh really?
There's a little bit of tension there, I think. I mean, not so much anymore, but back in the day, yeah, just because there's some bands that had left one and went to the other,
Right.
kind of thing. So there's a little bit of bad blood, I think. But I think it's all water under the bridge now.
Yeah. Okay, I won't push you on that.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, you've kind of covered it with the ABC 12-inch, which I really like ABC. But anyhow, record that people wouldn't think that you'd like.
Well, I showed it to you earlier. I might as well bring it out once I get to it.
I know what's happening. I know what's going on.
You know exactly what's happening. Just got to get to it. And here it is. Just kidding.
Come on. I haven't got time for this crap.
Where to go?
The gods of taste have taken it.
Yes. Uh-oh. I think you're right. Oh, here it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice sleeve, to be fair.
Yeah. It was either this or Lenny Kravitz. So. I don't know, man. That first record's pretty good.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, so this is a best of the Grateful Dead.
That's everyone's best record is the best of.
Yeah. So it's a collection.
Yeah.
And it's got like Uncle John's Band and a couple other songs that I think are like just good like pop songs, and not all like the kind of hippie jammy stuff that they're kind of known for. So there's like just certain songs on there that I just think are like good pop songs. And I just think it's like a nice record. It just reminds me of when I was a kid. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not a Deadhead.
No. Have you? How deep have you gone with Grateful Dead then?
This is it.
That's it. The best of.
Right here, the best of. There's no reason to go any farther than the best of.
Yeah.
I don't feel I'm not hitting any breakoff. I'm not hitting any Fish albums. I'm not
PHISH.
Yeah, there's no Dave Matthews Band in my collection. There's no nothing like that.
What do you think?
This is as far as it goes.
Yeah. So I know people that really, really tuck into a band like the Grateful Dead and will buy like box sets of live things, and I'm at a loss as what someone might get from having hundreds of copies of records like that by the same band.
Yeah, I'm not sure because I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was or what it was called, but I remember doing mail order from a place. I think it was in Italy, maybe, or someplace in Europe. But I used to buy like live CDs from like I would send money or whatever, and I would get CDs back, which is kind of a miracle sometimes. The more I think about it, I'm pretty sure I was sending cash back in the day, which is even more insane. But I would just send away for like live Beastie Boys albums.
Oh yeah.
So I was a massive, and I still am to this day, like a massive Beastie Boys fan. Like I have like most all the singles. Like,
yeah. Do I have that book here?
Yeah, I mean, I have that book is awesome.
Yeah, I can't actually see it. I've got it somewhere, but yeah, it's really. Oh yeah. Sorry, if anyone's not got this, they need to get this book.
Yeah, no, it's excellent.
Yeah. Anyhow.
So I would like, so I kind of maybe get like the fascination with live concerts, but like to me, it just seems like the Grateful Dead concerts would be so effing boring.
What I like is you leant in and whispered.
Like in case anybody's listening, besides the internet. Yeah, but anyway, but I like, and I have that. They just released. The Beastie Boys did like a thing last summer. It's like a live album, like vinyl. That I picked up. That was decent, but yeah, but like I have a ton of like weird European bootlegs, and like some of them are good, and some are like a dude standing there with like a microphone. Yeah. You hear like, yeah. It's like when they play certain songs, you're like, oh god.
Well, I was talking with a previous person about the live video that they put out, where they gave everyone, not everyone, they gave like 100 cameras.
Oh yeah, I effing shot this or whatever. Yeah,
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is great. Yeah, I mean, I have all the videos, I have the DVDs. Yeah. I'm a super fan.
Were you in on Paul's Boutique when it came out?
Yes.
Yeah, because some people weren't, were they? Some, License to Ill was one thing, and then Paul's Boutique came out, and it threw. I've got 3 copies of Paul's Boutique, and I haven't paid more than £1 for any of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because there was a point when no one wanted them, and they were just selling them all. Like,
yeah.
I don't know when it came out, but I was too young.
I think it was 80, 89, I think.
89, yeah.
I want to say 80, 89.
Yeah.
We were getting it in like on cassette first. And like wearing that out. Well, first actually I remember getting the cassette single for Hey Ladies.
Yeah. Hey Ladies.
Yeah. And then buying the cassette. And then going and then getting the 12-inch for Hey Ladies, then the LP.
Yeah. So for me with that record is they had it in our local library. So over here, the local libraries, which were books, of course, also you could loan out records. And so you'd have the record for like 2 weeks or 4 weeks, and then you'd go back in and try and extend the loan. And normally it'd be yes, but sometimes you go in and go, no, someone's requested that record, and then you'd be like, oh no, and then you'd have to give it back to them. Like it was, I had a few. Here's one. I've got a Best of Hanoi Rocks. I was like 13 or 14, and I really liked Hanoi Best of. And so that was one record for about a year I got from the library, and would just keep it for a year. And then eventually I did buy it. I bought it, and I still got it. And every now and then I'll listen to it and go, I love this record. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the thing is with a band like that, and sorry we're going off topic, whatever the topic was, but with a band like that,
Beastie Boys.
Yeah. But
it works. It's fine.
But okay, just quickly with Hanoi Rocks, I'm just defending my corner. They got sold as like a Poison type band, like a glam rock type band. But if you listen to it, that's not where they came from. You can hear they've come like definitely New York Dolls world,
right?
Rather than Poison world. Anyhow, let's move away from Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want, I can walk over and get my Def Leppard LPs. If you really want me to crank out some.
What era have you gone up to with Def Leppard, though? Where did you go to?
Oh, not very far. Pyromania is the farthest I went.
Yeah. On Through the Night's all right. I think that's...
Yeah.
It's not a regular...
Yeah, after, like... Yeah. Once it hit, like, Hysteria and, like, the Pour Some Sugar on Me, I was done.
No, exactly. Yeah, like, we knew they were from Sheffield. They were from a northern city here. And it was so weird seeing them, like, play that big arena game. Like,
yeah.
What are you doing? But God damn, they sold zillions of records. So that's what.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. God bless them.
Fair play, yeah. So you've come from like a metal world, is what you're saying as well, though. Metal and rap, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
As a kid, yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some like punk rock mixed in. Like that's like I'd say like, yeah, it was like rap, like metal, and then like, but the metal kind of hinged more on like the DRI, Anthrax, stuff, and like some hair metal too. Because like when you're super young, you're kind of like stuck with like your influences and like what you hear on the radio at first. You know, it's like, and like what I had on the radio was like hair metal.
Yeah.
And like what my sister would introduce me to, she was in college or like end of like upper high school. So it's like, you know, she introduced me like, she's like, oh, here, check out this band. It's called Fugazi. You know, it's like, I'm like, oh, cool. You know, it's like.
Yeah. So what band was it, do you think, that sort of switched you more then to like what the AmRep stuff? Like what, like, was it a band like Fugazi? What was the.
I think it was definitely was like Fugazi, and actually probably like the Clash, just because it was like a little more interesting. That kind of like led me like more punk rock stuff, but like kind of more interesting punk rock stuff, and like the Cramps.
Right, yeah.
So we're like going into a record store and like stealth buying a Cramps record because like the cover was some like obscene thing.
Yeah.
Like not let my parents see it. You know, it's like, ooh.
Yeah. Underwear, basically.
Yeah. So, and the same with like buying like when I bought like the Guns N' Roses record, like trying to hide that from like because it had like the skulls on it and whatever, and like the cross and.
Yeah. Was that the version that you had over there?
Yeah.
That album, Appetite for Destruction.
Yep.
We had like that like robot rape scene.
Oh yeah, the Robert Williams thing. Yeah, we could. This is America, man. We don't have that stuff.
You didn't. We had that over here for a while. And that's not the version that's available now.
No.
Yeah,
because I mean that's on the inside cover, on the American version.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. Like it's something that's come up as well is the different versions, like UK or Europe, and American versions of records. It's weird to me that there's a difference. As I was saying with Tim Hall from an earlier episode about Super Fuzz Big Muff.
Well, yeah.
Having like Touch Me I'm Sick over here, but not Touch Me I'm Sick in America.
Yeah. We'll say with like I remember like the Jane's Addiction cover for Ritual is different, I think. So it's censored over here. The first one had like those clay kind of.
That's the one we've got,
yeah.
Yeah, like the 3 clay models with their genitals out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I seem to remember as a kid the second Poison record I think was censored over here because it had like a face like a super long tongue.
Yeah.
And it got censored.
Oh really? Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean things are weird over here.
Yeah, you can buy a gun and shoot people in the face, but you can't buy something with a long tongue on it.
Exactly. Everything's normal. Don't worry about it.
Carry on filming.
Carry on. Yes. Nothing to see here.
So the final subject I have is 10-inch records. Your thoughts on them, your favorite 10-inch record?
Weirdly, I kind of don't mind 10-inch records. But also kind of do like sometimes they don't sound the best.
Right.
But I think they're cool.
Yeah. Have you made any? Have you released any on?
Yeah, I have. So I did that Gay Witch Abortion Halo Flies 10-inch. I also did this band from Canada. They're like Nearly Dead.
Right.
They're great. They kind of sound a little bit cowsy, if you will, or Brain Bombs.
Yeah. Okay.
But all their songs are about like old people, like or being old. Like
it sounds like it's for me.
Yeah, it's quite funny. And we did a video, and it's all like, it's kind of uncomfortable. It's like old people in a nursing home. It's just there's like some weird like scenes of like an old lady touching like produce. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're cool.
Yeah,
I think I did see them. I think I did another one. I can't remember though. I think that's it. So many records.
I saw you hold up Eggnog there. No, was that?
Yeah.
Melvin's?
Oh no, Bullhead.
Bull-
Oh no, Eggnog. Yeah. Where'd it go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled out. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're fine.
Mm.
There's nothing.
It's the same with the cost of 7-inch. Like 7 inches are prohibitively expensive and a kind of
Yeah, that's the same
nice,
kind of with 10 inches.
nice, but novelty. And a 10-inch, like why would you do a 10-inch when the 12-inch is the same price?
Yeah, exactly. Especially now. I mean, back 10 to 15 years ago, there's a little bit of a price break.
Yeah.
And there's a kind of a novelty to it, I think.
Yeah.
Now it's like the cost is like it's just out of control.
Yeah. We did there's a 10-inch we did with like Klossers, Todd, Lords, and Part Chimp, and we charged $5 for it. You know, £5.
Yeah.
And like if we did the same now, my guess is it'd be 3 times as much.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's cool, but is it worth it? It's not worth it.
No, probably not. No. Okay, so do you have anything else you want to show? Any other records you want to? What you got there?
I don't know. Everything else is just kind of. I did have one of my other favorite records as a kid. Was this classic?
Oh yeah.
Like I love this record too. It's another one of my like. It's like that and like Anthrax and DRI, like my childhood.
Yeah, they were big though. That record was big, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially over here. Like I would be like doing my homework in like junior high, like listening to that.
That little world, that De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, all those like groups. They were. It was quite nice.
Native tongues.
Yeah.
That actually brings me to a kind of a funny story of when I was in England for the All Tomorrow's Parties with Gay Witch Abortion.
Oh, what year was that then? When
the one that Shellac curated. It's probably like 8 years ago.
Okay. Did Shellac curate the whole one, or was it just one?
Yeah, no, Shellac did the whole thing.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
So like Shellac, Oxbow,
nice.
Melt Banana, Stunning. There's a bunch of bands. It was awesome. It was super fun.
My dog is barking at your dog.
Yeah.
Just heard it. It's like
it's awesome.
Like, do dogs have accents? I wonder if he's like, whoa.
Whoa, what? That dog sounds American. That dog sounds British. So anyway, so I was at a record shop in London. I can't remember where it was or where. Like I was off a subway stop somewhere. I was just like tooling around London by myself. And like I was like, oh, there's a record shop. Walked to it. Was shopping. I was like, oh, sweet. Like the Jungle Brothers, done by the Force of Nature LP, like used. It's like affordable. I was like buying it. Got it. Listened to the used copy. Sounded great. I was like, I'll buy that. Like whatever. Guy puts it in the sleeve, whatever. Puts in the bag. I buy it, and I buy a couple other records. Like I bought like a. I can't remember what else I bought, but whatever. Don't even think about it. Put it in my bag. Get home. Pull it out to listen to it. Pull out the record. It's like some random jazz record, not the Jungle Brothers record. I was like, oh God. Okay.
They do that. They do that to all Americans.
It's like how like I can't go back and exchange it. Like what? Just like
It's a bummer.
Yeah, but so I mean, fortunately, I had like a white label copy of the actual record already. Right. But this like so now I just have like the sleeve which I bought in England, and I just had to.
And the white label copy.
Yeah.
So is that the only time you've come to England?
Yeah.
Yeah. And did they play other gigs, or was it just shows? Sorry. What do you think of the gigs?
I don't know, shows, gigs, whatever.
Yeah, like we
I guess it all kind of depends on.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't really like. I'm trying to think of like a good way to explain like what the difference might be. Like maybe if you're touring, it's a show, but if you're playing in town, it's a gig.
Right,
Or maybe if you're touring, it's a gig, and if you're in town, it's a show. I don't know.
I didn't know if it's gig seemed frowned upon by Americans, like it's like a noodly sort of cover band thing. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know.
So yeah, so
I guess it depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah. Did they play other dates in Europe? Or was it...
No, we just did the one. We basically flew in on like a Thursday night, I think, if I remember correctly, or Thursday day, and like kind of tooled around London that night, then drove down to Somerset, or took a bus down to Somerset that Friday, and then spent the day at the festival. And then they played Sunday night, and then we came back Monday morning.
Yeah, so Minehead. Okay, it was in Minehead. That's because I live in Somerset. So
or not Somerset. Yeah, that's where you live. Sorry, it wasn't in Somerset. It was in wherever like the resort is, like on the coast.
It was either Camber Sands.
Yeah, Camber Sands. That's it.
Okay, yeah, that's not Somerset. Because
sorry, Somerset. Yeah, I was like Somerset. I don't know what it popped in my head because that's where you live.
But weirdly, ATP did kind of move to Somerset.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the last few, or I don't know how many, but the one that's an ATP poster there. That was in Minehead, which is just down the road here, which is kind of the other sort of side of. I don't know, but most of them were at Camper Sands. That's kind of where it's more famous for.
Yeah. So is ATP still a thing? I know they had like kind of a whoopsie a few years ago.
Yeah, they had a whoopsie. and I don't know the full details, but it's a constant source of conversation amongst almost everyone I know.
Okay.
The ATP debacle. Some people lost a lot of money. Some bands might have not got paid. I don't know the details, so it's absolutely not my place to say. That doesn't stop me gossiping about it like a.
Yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, there's plenty of things here that are the same.
Yeah.
Because I know, not saying that what we're gonna do would end up like that, but Conan and I are hopefully going to be able to set up that festival that we were planning on doing 2 years ago now, or a year ago now, the Caterwall deal. It's like a 3-day festival that got COVIDed.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, because you've done that before, though, right? You've had.
Well, yeah, on like a lot smaller level, but we were basically trying to plan like a 3-day festival, basically like most kind of bands in like the Midwest, kind of East Coast, West Coast that would come here, that we would all like to see in the same place over like a 3-day weekend.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. And maybe I mean, whatever, it's impossible for people from Europe to fly here now. Affordably.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that a lot of UK bands do still want to play and do dream of even playing in America. Like certainly it's for me an ambition. It's always been an ambition to play. The logistics are what they are, but like I'm not ruling it out as a thing.
Yeah, well, we'll try to sneak in somehow.
Yeah, if we talk about it now, maybe it'll get the FBI might catch on, and then we'll get screwed.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, that was screwed.
The algorithm might hit.
Yeah. Oh no.
There's another completely unsuccessful band trying to sneak in and steal the work of our unsuccessful bands.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Somebody else will make no money here. Dang it.
Exactly. It's been really good talking.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I really
glad this went off.
Yeah. So this is our first time of conversating, and it's been really good to talk. So thanks.
Yeah, I feel like we talked less about records and more just about stuff.
Yeah, exactly the idea. Who the hell wants to know records?
Yeah, exactly. Boring.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to wave. I'm going to press stop, but we can carry on talking briefly afterwards. Okay, once we can go back to slagging off the bands that we want to slag off once I've stopped recording. Okay.
I like your style.
Okay, so wave.
Toodaloo.